Quick one. Off the top of your head, what makes a midfielder worth over £100 million? Do you need to be a physical specimen, tall, powerful, with the engine to cover every blade of grass? Do you need massive weapons, the ability to dominate duels, the defensive work rate that gets all the praise? Or what if mastering the basics is enough? What if being fundamentally perfect beats being physically dominant? Ladies and gentlemen, we might be witnessing the true arrival of the kind of player Chelsea have been searching for. He's the same age as some other young midfielders and they get talked about more, but he's consistently delivering at the highest level. Watching Enzo Fernandez over time has left me asking a question I didn't think I'd be asking. Is he actually Chelsea's most important player? Because right now it's getting harder and harder to argue against it. The improvements across the board, they're real. Enzo Fernandez is the real deal. And through it all, he stayed humble. So how did we get here? How does a British record signing go from being doubted to becoming indispensable? The foundation. Let's kick things off with where Enzo came from. In his Benfica debut, he scored a half volley from outside the area in a Champions League qualifying match. Then he scored in a 4-0 league win and again in the second leg of the same European tie. 3 times that season, he was named Liga Portugal's Midfielder of the Month, August, October and November. It wasn't just the goals that were impressive, it was the way he controlled the midfield, dictated tempo, and created for others. You would think you were watching a central midfielder in his early 30s, not a young guy just making his mark. Then came the World Cup. He had initially been on the bench, but after the performance he put on against Mexico, he became a locked-on starter. Scaloni's decision to play Enzo alongside De Paul as a double pivot in a 4-4-2 was game-changing. At the World Cup, he had more final third passes than Messi himself. He had the highest long pass completion rate of all the Argentinian players. He was 21 years old, and he was orchestrating Argentina's midfield like he'd been doing it for a decade. Argentina won the World Cup. Enzo won Young Player of the Tournament and was key to their success. At 21 years old, he was already playing like one of the best central midfielders in the world. You don't win the Young Player of the Tournament by accident. So naturally, when he arrived at Chelsea, there was a ton of hype, a British record transfer at the time, a World Cup winner, a player every top club wanted. But the issue was that Enzo was joining Chelsea at one of the most turbulent times in the club's history. There had just been a change in ownership. They were buying players and selling players in massive numbers. At one point, Chelsea had so many players they didn't have enough space in the locker rooms. On top of joining a team in transition, Enzo was also not profiled correctly. People saw the goals at the World Cup and the transfer fee and just assumed this guy was going to carry Chelsea to glory all by himself. That's just not possible. He was played everywhere in the midfield. Deep role, advanced role, left, right, no matter the position, it never looked right. He seemed slow, a bit heavy-legged, always half a second behind the game. At one point, the media was showing stats comparing the team with and without Enzo on the pitch, and somehow Chelsea were better without him. These graphics are usually meant to prove how important a player is. In Enzo's case, they did the exact opposite. But his early Chelsea performances got attacked relentlessly. At 86.9 touches per 90 minutes in 2024, Enzo was trying to do everything. And considering he's playing in one of the most turbulent periods in Chelsea's history, the work he's already put in is legit impressive. His deeper understanding of the system, that new attacking role, his ability to catch defenders off guard, it's all clicking. And that foundation, it's led to something special. The evolution. Now, where Enzo has really leveled up is with his positioning. He's scoring more goals from advanced positions and late runs into the box. 15 goal contributions in 31 starts this season. Not bad for a guy who people thought couldn't hurt you. The consistency is suffocating. Even the elite teams are struggling to handle him in the final third. And here's the kicker. Enzo actually impacts games more than you think. Off his right foot, Enzo generates more dangerous moments than we've seen in previous months. Clean passing, great placement, perfect timing. He's carving insane angles with through balls, and he's not afraid to step into space and rip it from uncomfortable positions. Then there's the defensive work. Compact, rock solid, dude simply just doesn't stop running. That pressing intensity stays high, and not many midfielders are able to match it for 90 minutes. The big difference though between last year and this year is that Enzo is going bigger with his forward runs. The easy transition play, the ability to switch the tempo so efficiently. And we haven't even talked about his leadership yet. Enzo's decision-making under pressure is better than most veterans. Over the last 52 weeks, he's been Chelsea's most consistent performer. Who would have thought? Then there's the intelligence. It's exceptional. He positions himself with purpose, floats into space, knowing exactly where the play will develop. But the evolution isn't just about what he does with the ball, it's about when he does it. The breakthrough. This season at Chelsea, Enzo has become more decisive than last year. That's confidence. And if you tuned into his match against West Ham, his game management absolutely exposed how crucial he is in the 97th minute. Then there's also the work rate, which doesn't get talked about as much. Enzo's uncanny ability to always get himself in the best position to influence play is just so underrated. He's great at holding possession and switching to offense right away while still maintaining composure under pressure. The real X factor for me in Enzo's game is his decision-making and his high football IQ. It's pretty rare that you even see the 25-year-old make a bad pass. Extremely crafty and deceptively calm with his play, Enzo systematically controls games. Plus, his ability to vary the tempo whenever he wants and calm confidence to execute under pressure makes him an absolute pleasure to watch. He knows when to speed things up and when to slow them down. No sloppy moments. He beats you with precision and timing rather than sheer physicality. Simply put, it's death by 1,000 passes. In an era dominated by physical midfielders, seeing a technically gifted playmaker who can also score going toe-to-toe with the top players, adapting and problem-solving on the fly makes the game more fun to watch. And here's the crazy part. This level of maturity usually takes years to develop. The trajectory. The thing is, being this complete should take time, especially when you're not relying on raw power. But Enzo's trajectory is steep. He featured in 69 of 81 matches under Maresca. No Chelsea player has played more games than him since January 2023. He's led the team in combined goals and assists, scored in European finals, won 2 trophies, and found himself in a new position this season, this time not as a struggling signing, but as one of the team's key leaders, wearing the armband when Reece James isn't available. Different pressure, different expectations. And if there's anything to learn from his journey, it's that Enzo is a fast learner. But that journey hasn't been without its obstacles. In fact, the biggest test of his character came when everything could have fallen apart. The defining moments. Enzo worked his way into the team's core. He survived early criticism before becoming indispensable under Maresca. But the journey wasn't smooth. There were personal struggles, a groin injury in 2024 that had him playing through pain while awaiting hernia surgery. A relationship ending, leaving him separated from his 2 young kids, a 6-month driving ban. And then came July 2024, the Copa América incident. After celebrating Argentina's Copa América victory, Enzo posted a video of himself singing a chant about French players. A chant many people found deeply offensive. His Chelsea teammate Wesley Fofana responded publicly on social media. The media circled. Social media erupted. Everyone expected the relationship to fracture. There was talk of investigations, potential exile from the squad. When you look at all of these factors, it's a lot for one player to take in. We forget that these guys are humans. It's not career mode. They can't just ignore what's happening in their personal lives to perform on the pitch. But Maresca had seen enough to know what Enzo was capable of. The first thing the Italian did was respond to the incident. Enzo apologized to the team. He committed to an anti-discrimination charity. Chelsea matched his donation. And then Maresca did something unexpected. He made him captain for the opening game of the season against Manchester City. The Italian explained his decision simply. I can see that his teammates recognize him like a reference, like a captain. This also shows how he is respected inside the squad. It showed trust from the manager at a moment when Enzo's confidence couldn't have been lower. Leadership on and off the pitch, technical quality, vision that made Chelsea's system work. From that moment, Enzo won his teammates back and began a run of form that reminded everyone why Chelsea made him a British record signing. He just looked free. The creativity and finesse that Chelsea fans had wanted from the moment he signed finally showed up. With his performances, Enzo was instrumental in leading Chelsea to European silverware. He scored in the final. The season had its challenges. Red cards accumulated, injuries mounted, results fluctuated. But even with the challenges, Chelsea remained competitive, and through it all, Enzo kept delivering. So with all that said, where does Enzo stand now? The reality check. Look, since joining Chelsea, Enzo has been exceptional. Safe to say he's operating on a pretty serious level. But the thing is, there's always room to grow. Last season, Enzo delivered 22 goal contributions. This season, he's already on 15 and on pace to match or exceed that total. The attacking output is there, but consistency in the biggest moments, that's where he can still level up. Plus, being a player who relies on his intelligence to pick teams apart, Enzo's got to maintain peak consistency all year round. The precision and vision of his passing continues to be Chelsea's main creative outlet. He understands space, he controls tempo. But can he sustain this over multiple seasons at Chelsea? That's the question. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to see more of Enzo this season. How far do you think he can go? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Because right now, Enzo Fernandez is one of Chelsea's key figures. He leads the team in goals and assists. He's the heartbeat of everything they do. And somehow, people are finally starting to believe.